Good afternoon, traders here, guys. 3:15 p.m., 45 minutes to go into trading session. So here's my three indice charts. Okay, guys. Things that I'm looking at here going into the close. I'm really looking to see if they push this 261 gamma exposure. So call a gamma exposure out of the money on the IWM. See if they close that out of the money in today's session. The ones with the dotted lines, those expire today. The ones with the solid lines, those expire Friday. Those are our different gamma exposure areas. Okay, and we've got a lot of gamma exposure at 261. Let's see if they can push that down going into the close. So that's a primary theme that I got going on here. They're trying to put the 625 out of the money as we speak. Keep that 625 out of the money. As long as we're above this right here, that gray line, the yellow dotted line, and the gray line here, that is your weekly central pivot zone. Okay, guys. So if you add up all the volume from last week and price action on last week's, this is your weekly central pivot zone from last week. Okay, guys, as long as we're holding above the central pivot, last week's central pivot range, the primary uptrend is still very much intact. Okay, guys, you can see here on the NASDAQ or the Russell, we're way above it, and we're holding above it as we speak here on the Russell. So the risk on is still very much bullish. Same way with the S&Ps, we're holding above that weekly central pivot range, and it's actually showing a little bit more strength today. Okay, so heads up on that as well. Okay, guys. So some things I got going on here. We do have a breakout right here. Uh, we got a lot of, um, I actually need to add green right here. Sorry. Should have already had it down. This here is a critical test area as well. We could actually do it before the close. You never know. So that would be your next main support area. We might be coming down. And that is the bottom of the weekly center pivot zone as well. So there is a case to be made that we're going to come down to this, for a test into the close. So heads up on that. So that'd be my primary thesis to see if this thing comes down into major supports to close out the session. Okay. And we have a trend right here. So we still got a long ways that we could come down here. And remember, right in this area as well, we have our 20 SMAs right in this area as well. So, a lot of support in this zone until it turns into resistance. So, we really have to start breaking below these weekly central pivot zone lows in the morning session to actually think that there's going to be a bigger change in the bigger trend in the markets. Okay, because this has been wild today, guys. So we're all negative on the breadth indicators. These were all wildly positive earlier on in the session, and we opened the session with them about as negative as they are right now. It's kind of wild the volatility that we're seeing in today's session, how these breadth indicators have just been flipping back and forth in a significant amount way in today's session. So heads up on that. That's kind of what I'm seeing here in the markets. You got the gamma people, the option writers are fighting tooth and nail with the option buyers. So that's what's going on here. I do think there's a really good chance the option writer is going to win into the close here. And so I would probably be looking more and more to the fact that we might be breaking daily lows here into the close. So be very mindful of that into the close here. So on the chart seems some big changes in today's session. One big one is Meta. Meta is a bearish chart. I've been posting it for weeks now, and we broke down today. We're breaking the bear flag this morning. Remember, they're going to have in AI, they're going to be one of the ones with some of the biggest debt spending payout in this AI boom. Okay, guys. So this is not looking good for Meta. Heads up on that. We're right into these prior lows on this. It could be a higher low. It could always be a higher low, but we're breaking this level as well. I would much rather be net short for the overnight. We'll see how it plays out. But I would not want to be long. It's got to be higher to be long, in my opinion, in the overnight session. So that's one that's really standing out today. AMD, wow, look at AMD go. AMD, wow, I was looking at yesterday morning. I was looking for the breakdown, and the gap fill yesterday morning. They came in and defended it, and now look at this thing right off the monthly 5 SMA. Wow, amazing how that's working. And remember, always keep an eye on how price is reacting to the monthly 5. You see how the monthly 5 acted as hard overhead resistance. Once you break that, it's really hard to get back through it. So basically, above the monthly 5 SMA, that means momentum's on your side. So, when you have the big sell down and you try to backtest that, that is a major backtest area, the monthly 5. Another one to show you that, Microsoft, monthly 5, major backtest area we're fading at. So that's another one. This one here is a bear flag setting up for a continuation breakdown. Be very mindful of that. Be very cognizant of that. I don't know. Apple's also at its monthly 5, and it's having a lot of troubles, but in a much tighter bear flag formation. So a much tighter consolidation on Apple, but it is still bear flagging. So you have to be very cognizant of that situation. You don't want to be going swing long Apple until Apple tells you that you should be swing long. The only one that's actually showing a relative strength, that's AMD off this 5 MA, okay, monthly 5. So you have to be very mindful of that. Nvidia, it's holding above its monthly 5, but it's just holding above its monthly 5. So I would have liked to seen more strength uh, bouncing off this along with the rest of with AMD. SMH still putting new highs here on SMH. You can't, yeah, it's hard to argue that situation. Uh, so, going forward here, you see this, the length of that uh, regression line. That's one way of doing it. Just put your fibs extensions on there. The length of your regression line on the breakout. We might be looking for 421, potentially 421, to the upside. This is a very important, the 38.6 on this breakout. This could be an exhaustion push right into that 38.6. So going in tomorrow, this is going to be really important here on the semiconductors to see how that we wicked and immediately rejected right there. Coming down here on the 4 hour. Yeah, it's 38.2. Yeah, 38.2 right there. How that's rejecting right there. Something to think about. This is giving us a little warning here. That big 4 hour rejection right there. That is giving us a little bit of warning. So I'd be careful on that. I'd be looking possibly AMD short for tomorrow. Uh, if it's playing out right, see if AMD gets up into this resistance and rejects the 225 again. So be very mindful, cognizant of that. But this is a bull flag, whereas the because it's above the 5 monthly 5. Okay, guys. So in my opinion, this is still a bull flag when you're above the monthly 5. Okay, guys. Delta reported today it's selling on the news. JP Morgan selling on the news. So be very mindful of those situations here. Some of these big boys reporting, and we're priced for perfection. Adobe this morning. Oh, Adobe's getting hit here. Okay, let's go over here on the bigger time frame. That's a big breakdown for Adobe. Wow. So we're breaking major prior lows here on Adobe. Definitely keep that in watch. Amazon this to the right now. So basically, we really, if 444 or 244 becomes new resistance, we want to be net short on Amazon, in my opinion. 244, if that becomes new resistance, that suggests that this is a major. This could still be in this major topping area below 244, and it could easily be rejected. So be very mindful of that. Even though we're higher than this zone up here, in my opinion, because of our regression lines, is this could have been an exhaustion high, and it could be failing. So be very mindful of that, guys. Look at that. Can't look at that. Does that worry you guys or what? This here, wow. Yeah, we'll see how things open tomorrow, but yeah, that is a reversal candle, especially if we were to open below the bottom of the candle tomorrow. If we would open below 333.60, that would be bad. That would be a sign of a major potential top for Google. Be very mindful of that. Very, very, very mindful of that. Tesla's holding above the monthly 5 range. So you got the simple moving average, exponential moving average. That's the range between the two. So I just draw it out as a rectangle for the two. And we're still trading above that. Nothing really to do right here on that one. Netflix, in my opinion, is on the road to 60. Palantir is just digesting the monthly 5 MAs. It's got to decide. It's going to have to give us a signal which direction it's going to break. Intel's in breakout status. So above 46, you have to stick with the trend. So I would be looking for a back test of the 46 to see if new buyers come in there. So we have a breakout of this 46 area, and it still has not back tested. So be on the lookout for a back test of the 46 here on Intel. That is a major breakout, and it could very well fail. So um, we'll see how it plays out. The expected move would have finished right here, and for a reprieve, in my opinion. So we'll see how it plays out. And some of our bigger themes on these different charts. XLK, we're continuing to bull flag above the monthly 5 SMA. Be very mindful of that. So we're bull flagging above the monthly 5. We're bull flagging above the XLC, bull flagging above the monthly 5. Heads up on that. XLF, this is worrisome here. We are potentially losing, potentially putting in a head here on XLF. We got more bank earnings coming out overnight. We are potentially doing a breakdown. Lots what's driving this down are the credit card companies. With Trump announcing that big 10% interest rate cap for the credit card companies, it is adding fuel to the fire here on the financials. Be very mindful of that. XLY, pretty much looking pretty good here on consumer discretionary going into the the rest of these earnings, well above our monthly 5 SMA on that. So just a quick rundown of some of the things I'm seeing this morning, right now, right here, right now. Take one last look here before I on these charts. Here we go. We're fading down just like I thought. Fading down. Awesome. Called it out. Thanks for watching. Whoops.